Superstar.
What's good, everybody? This is Superstar O here, and thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Now, as you can see by the description of this video, or the title, or whatever, this is just coming a few days after launch of IndustryBeatz. This is basically an update. If some of you have been to the site lately just to check on your beats, or just to look at the website and stuff like that, then you probably noticed there was a change in the pricing. Also, I sent out a tweet and a Facebook post on my fan Facebook page to let everybody know that this video would be coming on the same day to Morph, so explain it. So, basically, okay, so to sum this all up in the best way I can, it's pretty obvious why we had to do this. So, for one, I seen this coming. I did. You know, a lot of members were like, yo, you should have seen this coming, and, you know, you should have just did this from the start, but, you know, whatever, it is what it is. Thankfully, you know, a lot of other producers, you know, benefited from you know, starting off at a, you know, lower rate. And, you know, the way I look at it is they got like an adoption, you know, early adoption price. You know how, like, if somebody comes out with a Kickstarter and they're like, you know, this is going to be released, you know, in 6 months, and if you pay this much now, then you're getting like half off or whatever. So I didn't plan for this to happen, but I did foresee that it could happen. And I was thinking, like, well, I mean, the worst case scenario would be what we're in now, which would be a lot of producers would join up, and it would start to be a little scary as far as so many, you know, joined up to where I don't want it to overcrowd, which is one thing about the website. And, you know, the members, we don't want it to be too crowded. And I was like, well, if it does get to that point, I can easily just up the price or close enrollment altogether, which I really didn't want to do that. But I'm like, there's options you can do. So I'm like, forget it. You know, I'll just go with the flow and see what happens. And we're only like 3 days later, and we're having to do it. So what I'm talking about is, so we have had a nice amount of members join, which is good. I'm very grateful for everybody who has joined and everybody who is thinking about joining. You know, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of people join. And if I was one of the other websites who kind of don't really care about nothing but money and just the website making all the money it can, then I would have just left it like it is and been like, you know, I don't care if we get 3,000 beats on the player, as long as people join, and is all I care about. But that's not the case. Of course, every business wants to make as much money as they can. You know, it's a business. You put money into it, you know, because you want to make more money back, and you want to make money off the business. So you're not making beats just to, well, some people are making beats just as a hobby, but you would like to make money off of it. But this website, as you all know, I have multiple businesses, and in most of them, especially to my fellow producers, I try to offer the lowest prices I can to help more people out, you know what I mean? So it's more affordable, more people can enjoy the stuff. And that's what the goal was for this too, but at the same time, it didn't really work out because $50 is really kind of cheap. I mean, it's not that much money nowadays. I mean, it was a lot of money to a lot of people probably still, and it was a lot of money to me back in the day. You know, I'm grateful for getting $50 still, you know what I mean? But it's not a lot to where it's like, you know, it's, oh man, I can't get $50. Like, if you really want something, you can make $50 pretty quick. So it was very cheap, and so literally members were hitting me up like, yo, as soon as I uploaded the site, and as soon as I launched everything, some people, early members, like the first, you know, members were like, yo, I'm about to join, or I just joined, but yo, you should charge more, because I'm telling you now, every producer is going to join, basically, you know what I mean, which is good, you know, for you, but at the same time, kind of bad for the site, you know, because that, you know, whatever. So that's what ended up happening. Great. Thankfully, we're not at the point right now where it's like overloading of members. We have a nice amount of members, but it's not nothing too crazy. But there's only been like 3 days, and, you know, obviously, if it's going to stay at this type of pace, and like every weekend when people get paid or something, that many people join, then it would end up being an issue down the line, because it's not something where, you know, you sign up for a membership and, you know, maybe people fall off every month or something like that, or they cancel, but it's something you pay once, you know what I mean, and you have a whole 6 months. So members aren't going to start falling off, if they ever do, for at least 6 months. So they just keep on piling up. And basically, we had to raise the price to deter people who are not serious. It's still affordable. If you look at the prices, it's still affordable, but it's not as, like, super cheap. It's something more where you would sit there and think about it. Like, okay, do I want to invest in this? Is this something that I really want to try out? If so, you still can. It's not going to break the bank, really, but it's more of an investment for you, and it's going to deter anybody who's not super serious, you know, and isn't just super serious, basically, because we don't, not saying we only want super serious producers or the greatest of all producers or nothing. You don't have to be the best in the world, like I said in the last video, but we need you to be serious about it and really want to do it. Because some people, they might just be joining because like, oh, it's $50, like fuck it, we'll see what happens, which is cool. And like I said, that would be good for the site and for me because it's just making money. But at the same time, I want to help the whole website is about helping the members also make money. I'm not just trying to take money from everybody, you know what I mean, and just whatever, they either, who cares if they get sales or not. Like, no, I'm not one of those websites. This isn't one of those websites. We want to actually help the members and help the fellow producers get the plays, get the exposure, get the sales. And the easiest way to do that, because I haven't even started promoting it to the artists yet. Well, if you're watching this video now, I might, if you're watching this later than I have, but it's the 25th right now of January, and I haven't started even promoting it yet to the artists to get sales and stuff yet, because I'm still trying to get all the members who are signed up and signing up their beats uploaded, because I'm doing it all by myself, so it's taking a little time. But once everything's more stable, everybody's beats are up, or most people's beats are up, and it gets promoted, the customers start coming, and we're, as the website gets older and older and gets bigger and bigger, people are going to be getting beats sold. People are going to be getting exposure. They're going to, they see your name right there. They might go look you up and look up your own website, so on and so forth. But the more members that are on the cart, so say you come to the cart and there's like 2,000 beats on there, that's going to be really hard. I mean, I have had, or I might have like over 700 or something beats on my SoundClick, and you would be surprised that still the beats way at the bottom still lease sometimes. It's rare, but sometimes way down there people still buy them or still hit me up and ask me if they can buy them exclusive and stuff like that. So when an artist is really looking for that perfect beat, they will sit there and go through all the beats on that website, on that cart, but at the same time, 500 and 600 and stuff like that, a little around that range isn't 2,000, you know what I mean? And we're not nowhere near that. We might have, with all the members we have now, I think we have about 300 beats or so, which actually is really good because they have a wide variety. So many of the producers have different sounds, you know what I mean? So if as soon as a beat comes on, an artist can tell if that's the genre they're looking for or if that's the sound. If it ain't, boom, they just skip it. So it's not hard at all to go through that many beats. But with the way we're only on day 3 and it's accumulating so fast and I can't see into the future, you know what I mean? All I can do is look at what's happening right now, and it's a ton of people joining because it's so cheap, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just join, whatever, we'll see what happens. Which, that's why we kind of got to slow it down a little bit and now raise the price to where it's, I could have just closed enrollment altogether, but I'm like, no, that's kind of stupid. So I didn't want to close it. But I didn't want to make it extremely crazy expensive, you know what I mean? Because then that's kind of not fair. So the price has been raised. You can go check it out. It's still affordable. It's like I said, it's not going to break the bank. Maybe you join instead of buying a new pair of J's or something like that. It's not. It's something where if you're serious about it, it's an investment to where not even really an investment. An investment is, well, I guess it's an investment, but it didn't have to be super expensive to be an investment, I guess. But my point is now, as opposed to being, oh, it's $50 for 6 months, whatever, $50 or $50, it's double that, so it's $100, basically $95. So it's like, well, shit, am I gonna, join this for 6 months and, really be serious about this, or am I gonna go buy some new shoes that I wanted, or whatever, something else, or just keep it, or whatever. So now it's gonna deter some more people, and it's gonna slow down the people joining, and anybody who was really wanting to join still can, because I didn't want to do it to where it was so expensive, where it was like, oh, well, this is like, I really, really want to join this site, but now it's just way too expensive. Like, I don't want to, spend that much and not really know for a guarantee if I'm going to make that back and stuff like that. So I didn't want to do that, so I needed to find a middle ground. So this should be a perfect middle ground where it's not extremely cheap like it was, and everybody's just fucking, every producer in the world is going to join it, and it's not super expensive to where people who really want to join can. You know what I mean? It's right in the middle where it's like, if you really want to, you can, and now if it's a little too shaky for you, you don't have to, and it'll be less crowded. So this is really a move that was for the members, for you guys. It's not for me, as you can see. I'm actually the website's probably gonna lose money, because if I would have kept it at that, so many people could have joined. You know what I mean? They would have just kept on. People would have kept on joining for, like, you know what I mean, because it's so cheap. But it'll balance out, because this way you guys will be able to get sales easier. It'll be cleaner and more neat for the customers when they start coming, and it'll pick up sales for people. And the cart will just be less crowded, which is what all the members, we're starting to be worried about. And they're like, yo, how are you going to stop it from being crowded? We're on day 3 and there's 200 something beats on there. And also another thing is, don't worry too much, because on things like this, usually what happens is the majority of the people who, especially it came out on a Friday, which is probably around when people get paid, people have money. The people who really wanted to sign up for this probably already did, or they're planning to this coming weekend, things like that. Or maybe they're like, I'm gonna wait until down the line, some months down the line, and see how the site is or whatever down the line. But we did get a big volume up front, but it's not gonna be like this like every day or every week. There's not gonna be hundreds of people joining. So it would, especially with this price raising like that, it's gonna slow down. It's gonna be better for you members. And hopefully, any of you who didn't get to join up yet, hopefully you do understand why we had to do this and you appreciate it. I've already had emails of people saying, yo, you know, it is going to be a little more expensive for me, but I'm still going to join. Thank you for doing it because I understand why. It's better for me in the long run, me being them, not me. So hopefully you guys understand this. Also, another question has been, so once all the beats are uploaded, you know, how is it going to be arranged? Like, how will the cart be arranged? Because, you know, there's not like a chart system where there's like a top 10 or nothing like that. This is going to be better than that. The way, basically, I am asking, because, you know, the cart's powered by my Flash store, so I don't think they have a randomized option, but hopefully they come out with one soon where every time the website loads, all the beats will just be randomly, you know, they'll just be all over the place. Like, they're not going to be stuck in one spot. So, you know, you might say you go to the site right now and, you know, this is the list of beats, but then you reload the page and then the beats are on a whole total different order. That way it's all random and nobody's stuck in one spot. I don't think they have that feature yet, but I am asking them to get that. And I'm sure it's something that they can probably do, or they might already be thinking about doing. They can probably do it pretty soon. But until then, or they might already have it. I asked them. I don't think they do. But until then, what I'm going to do is every single week, I'm gonna go into, you know, into the shop, and I'm just gonna jog it all around. I'm just gonna flip beats all over the place. So what that'll do is people who, you know, right now, say you joined and your beat is like number 150 or something, you don't want to be stuck there. You're like, damn, am I gonna be, you know, stuck down here forever? Like, how can I get up? I want to be further up sometime so I can have a better chance of getting heard when, you know, customers come to the site. So that's what it'll do. It'll be, you know, you might be number 150 this week, and next week you might be number 15. You know what I mean? It's gonna be random. Like, you know, I'm just gonna flip the cart every week. So the bottom might be up at the top, might be at the middle, the top might go down to the bottom. So it's fair for everybody. That's what I want this website to be, really fair for everybody. Everybody has, you know, the best chances, and of course it's going to come down to people's beats. You know, with being so many producers in one place, it's kind of a competition thing, and everybody seems to be okay with that because everybody's confident in themselves, which is a good thing, really good thing. So it's going to come down to that. There's guaranteed customers are going to be coming to this site. They're definitely going to be listening to it. If you go to my SoundClick, you'll see there's a huge banner on there. So even when people come to my, and on my main website, superstaro.com, when people come to my sites to buy beats, they're going to see that. And it says, like, you know, want to hear more beats from hundreds of other producers from, you know, this website I made, brand by me, so you know it's official, click here. And that's going to also generate a lot of traffic on top of me just boosting it out to all the emails of real beat customers that I have. So it's going to be getting a lot of traffic, and it's going to just boil down to the people's beats, honestly, and their prices. One thing I will say, of course, everybody's lease prices have to be the same for the site, but a lot of the times nowadays, people like to buy the exclusive rights because people still buy leases, but they like to buy exclusive rights because, I mean, if you look at it from their side, if they're really serious about it, you know, sometimes they'll buy a lease, do the song, see how it turns out. If it turns out really good and they think it can blow up, or they think, you know, whatever, then they'll buy the exclusive rights later. But sometimes they want to just buy them right out the bat, and that's why, but a lot of you have been asking a crazy amount for your exclusive rights. And I want to say, I don't know if it's because that's just what you normally charge, or if it's because you think that, you know, that's how much I charge, and since some of my customers are going to be what's going to be coming here, then they have no problem paying that high price or something. Don't do that, because unless that's just your prices, leave it how you want it. But I will tell you, some of those prices are outrageous. There's people saying $1,000, $2,500, I mean, even $800. Those are big prices for a beat. I mean, you got to look at it now like maybe some years ago, me and Vibe were selling beats for those type of prices online, but it doesn't fly anymore. I mean, it really doesn't. You might get somebody to buy that rarely, every now and then. Like, I mean, every blue moon, or maybe you get it all the time. I mean, maybe you just have that high-end clientele. But for me, and for the other like big producers that I, you know, connect with and conversate with, we can't sell beats for that high no more, because we could, like I said, but it would be super rare to get the sales. You know what I mean? Like, we'd rather sell for lower and get the more volume than just be sitting here waiting around forever for somebody who's just balling out of control, you know what I mean, to spend on a beat. Because the reason for that is because we're online producers. I mean, even though we have, some of us, a lot of us have, you know, industry credentials as well and credits, it doesn't really matter. There's so many producers out there now, and so many of them make good beats, right? And unfortunately, a lot of them are just like, yo, I got dope ass beats, exclusive rights for $50. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm on the grind. You know what I mean? Which, you know, they gotta do what they gotta do. And so you know, people are just, you know, they less prices. I mean, there's literally, my prices usually go from 200 to, you know, it can go up, but I try not to go up. I mean, of course it can go up, you know, maybe 500, maybe 400, whatever. I try to stay kind of low. And even now I'm doing an exclusive right clear out sale, because it's like, a beat can always, you gotta look at it from our perspective. Yeah, we invest money in our equipment and stuff like that, and time is money, and it does take time to make a lot of the beats for some people, especially if you mix them on your own and stuff. But at the end of the day, you can always make more and replace them. No matter how hard the beat is, you can always just sit down, make another one, and replace it. It doesn't cost you anything. What time is the best thing, though. It does cost time. So nobody can really say that, because it does cost time, and time is like the most valuable thing on the planet. But at the same time, you know, the point is you can always make another one and replace it. So if some of you want to keep your prices super high, if you get that on your own websites, hey, we'll keep it up there or whatever. Or if you just, but for the people who are just like, oh, well, maybe, you know, his crazy rich customers are going to come and ball out, don't do that, because you're probably not going to get them sold. That's way too much money. Some of you are asking, it doesn't matter how hard the beat is. The beat could be the hardest beat in the world. The chances somebody's going to pay $1,000 or more for it is real slim. I mean, real slim. That's just how on the online market. Now, if you were an industry producer only selling to industry artists, then of course they're going to be more. They're going to be down to do that on mixtape tracks or album tracks, and you're going to make more money. But for online marketing and online producers, don't matter how big your name is, the game is just different now. And trying to charge that much is crazy. Now, some of you also might have a super high price because you don't want to sell it exclusive, right? And you only want to lease it out, and that price is meant to scare off the customers who want it exclusive, and so they can only lease it because you want to just lease it. You don't want to sell it, and that's fine. That makes sense if that's what your mission is, and you're just like, this is a insane number, so if anybody is balling out of control and they really need this beat, then they could pay this insane number. But I know nobody probably will. If that's your mission, which, you know, I do and many people have done, we do that with the beats we don't really want to sell. That's understandable. But I'm just letting you know, if that's not what you're doing and you're really thinking somebody's going to pay that much, then you might want to hit me up and say, hey, change my beat prices down to this much or something, because the chances are really slim if you're not thinking that. So this was just an update video. Like I said, hopefully, I'm sure all of you understand why we had to do it. For any of you who are planning on joining and didn't get to join yet, hopefully you understand why you have to pay a little bit extra. And if you know, if you're really serious about it, you're going to do it. It's not really going to be a big issue for you. And for those of you who got that deal and got the early adopters price, congratulations to you. I know all of you are been tweeting me like, oh shit, I'm glad I hopped on day one because I seen this coming. I knew this was going to happen. Tons of people are saying they knew this was going to happen. I mean, I kind of think we all kind of knew it was going to happen, but I just didn't know it was going to happen this soon. I thought it was going to take a while before a whole lot of people joined. I mean, I knew a nice amount of people were going to join off the jump because I do have a lot of producer followers that, you know, they know everything is quality when it comes to me and stuff like that, but I didn't know it was going to be just like a huge flood in the beginning. I thought it was going to be like building up, and then we were going to get to a point down the line where it was like, okay, we got to change the prices, we got to do things because it's getting crowded. I didn't know it was going to be this quick. Grateful that it was this quick. Thankful. Actually, it's better that it was this quick, like I said, because now once I advertise the website to the customers, they're going to have a whole variety of beats early on. It's basically right when we launch to choose from, you know what I mean? And they don't have to wait, and we only got 50 beats or something on there, you know what I mean? Which would be good for some of the producers because there's not that many on there, but it's better to have more. When you got a whole lot of producers on there to choose from, you do need a whole lot of beats, but not a whole lot of beats, you know what I mean? So thank you all who joined. Thank you for helping, you know, team up with me, and let's build this website as big as we can. You know, thank you for everybody who does join up. Any of you who want to help promote it, just, you know, please do make a Facebook post, an Instagram post, a tweet, whatever you want to do, and say, hey, check out this IndustryBeatz site. I'm on there too. If you artists want to buy beats, you know, come to the site. There's a bunch of producers to choose from, or if any of you producers want to sell beats, this is, you know, a new site you can do it on, because this is going to be a community thing. Like, we all have to kind of work together to build this up. I'm doing a huge chunk by just throwing everything I have at it, but you guys need to do your part too, and just bring whatever you can to the site, man. I mean, you can use the Instagram banner that I posted. You can use the little if you go on IndustryKits.com, there's a banner that slides by. You can save that and post it somewhere if you want, and basically that's just going to help also bring more traffic. Like, you know, it's basically we're all working together to help each other out on this one. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and let's see what it turns out into, and let's get it. And thank you for watching. If you have any more questions or anything you don't quite understand, just send me an email. You know, you should know my email address. If not, just go to IndustryBeatz and go down to the contact form, type in something, and hit send. One more big thing people have been asking before I forget: how will you get your payments? I thought I touched that already before, but basically, as soon as you get a lease or whatever, somebody buys anything from you, you're going to instantly get an email and say, hey, you made a sale for this beat. That's going to be followed by an email from me saying, yo, you probably already know, but you sold whatever for this kind of license to this beat. What's your PayPal email? I'm going to send you the split. And that's what happens. That's how you get it. Simple as that. Same day, if not same day, next day, because who knows how busy things might get. And another thing is, we no longer need trackouts. So if you join, when you join too, wait a minute, you don't have to hit me up and say, yo, what the hell, I paid and I haven't been, what's going on. You have to wait at least 24 hours, because when people join, I'm putting them in an email saying welcome to the site, and it's like all the info you need. So I let it build up for the day, and then I send it off. So just wait 24 hours or so for the email. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do from there to get the beats on the site and stuff. But for some of you who are asking why we no longer need the trackouts, it's for a big reason, which was what I was doing was taking everybody's trackouts in case somebody did a trackout lease or exclusive rights, uploading it to my own server, taking that link and putting it in the cart. So when somebody buys it, it automatically gives them that link. They automatically have the trackouts, which is a good thing. That's what I do for my own beats. But for all of these people joining, so it would take ever. It would take it was taking way too long. I mean, I'm still uploading, members stuff now, so it would take forever trying to do trackouts too. So I came out with a way easier, faster thing, which is basically what's going to happen is, now they get a link that is like a document, and they open it and it says, hey, you purchased a lease, or you purchased a license that comes with trackouts, but our trackouts are not hosted on the site. So this email will be followed by another email, which is going to give you the trackout link. And then I would email the producer saying, hey, I need the trackouts to that beat because this sold or whatever. They send it to me. I send it to them. It's all done pretty quick. So it's not, and it just saves time for uploading everything, and we don't have to have all these gigabytes and gigabytes of shit of people's trackouts on my server. So it helps out in the long run. So that's that update too. If you have any more questions, like I said, send me an email, drop a comment below. I'm always checking the comments. If you have any more suggestions for the site or something like that, also go ahead and drop them in the comment section. I'll check them out and I'll hit you back about them. And yeah, IndustryBeatz.com, beats with a Z. And check out this crazy chicken.